limousines, scarfing up children in the countryside. But in the absence of any real media, these children disappeared and nobody knew that they had gone.
With no solid suspects, Rostov police began a wide-ranging manhunt, arresting nearly anyone, even vaguely suspicious.
They had a lot of manpower, and they deployed dozens and dozens of detectives trying to come up with suspects.
But for 8 years, the killer remained at large.
Initially, his victims tended to come from the ranks of what they called women with disorderly sex lives. As time went on, he started to take more and more boys, innocent children, whoever he could lure and kill.
He chose children whose physical stature made it easy for them to be manipulated. He chose prostitutes who were willing to go with a stranger.
Police focused their efforts on transportation hubs.
They put very high-profile police officers, uniforms, etc., in all but a few train stations or bus stations.
All the large stations were patrolled by policemen in uniform. We were trying to play on the criminal's emotions and drive him into an isolated location.
Undercover officers were used to keep these remote locations under surveillance. In early November, the strategy paid off. A plainclothes detective at an isolated train station spotted a man emerging from the woods. The officer noticed a smear of blood on his cheek and what appeared to be a severe cut on his finger.
According to the policeman who was watching him, the suspect washed his shoes and cleaned his coat. The policeman in civilian clothes asked him to show his papers.
He identified himself as Andrei Chikatilo, a 54-year-old grandfather and loyal Communist Party member. The detective did not have enough reason to hold Chikatilo. He did, however, file a report on the incident. 24 hours later, a passerby discovered a girl's body in the same woods.
It happened the next day after Chikatilo had been stopped on the platform. The body had all the typical injuries on it. The chief of police immediately demanded the files of any suspicious individuals who were registered in the last 24 hours.
On November 20th, 1990, Andrei Chikatilo was apprehended in a Rostov marketplace. Investigators captured the arrest on video.
He had come out of the pub with a bottle of beer and tried to make contact with a young boy who suspected that he might try to lure the boy away. And at that point, Chikatilo was arrested.
By now, Chikatilo was suspected of committing more than 30 murders, but the police had no eyewitness and few real clues. Detectives desperately needed proof of his guilt. They needed a confession.
They wanted to get the confession. If you read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, I think that the confession is a very powerful symbol and a very powerful element in Russian culture.
Soon, Andrei Chikatilo would reveal the gruesome details of his 2-year run as a sexual predator. It was a tale that would shock a nation.
In the annals of crime, Andrei Chikatilo is undoubtedly one of the most sadistic killers ever to live. And he got away with murder for more than 12 years.
November 1990. Police in Rostov-on-Don, Russia, were interrogating suspected serial killer Chikatilo. For 12 years, a sadistic killer had raped and murdered dozens of women and children. Authorities believed Chikatilo was the culprit. But so far, the father, too, had admitted nothing. By law, Authorities had 10 days to look into the murders. Otherwise, Chikatilo would go free.
On the ninth day, we invited the psychiatrist Bukhanovsky to talk to Chikatilo one-on-one. Night.
The techniques used by psychiatrist Alexander Bukhanovsky were much different than the intense police interrogation.
Explained I wasn't his enemy, also not a defender either. In the American language, there are no words like guilty and wrong. I wasn't his, but just a doctor.
Chikatilo opened up to Bukhanovsky. He began to confess his crimes.
He probably, in some respects, I can't imagine somebody doing that for all those many years and not realize that he was living in a hell of his own creation and wanting to be out of it.
He took even a kind of smarmy, perverse pride in demonstrating his various techniques, which he did in the KGB gymnasium, where little dummies were used to represent the victims.
Not only did Chikatilo admit to the 36 murders of which police were aware, he also described 17 more that they hadn't tied to him.
From then, we began to collect evidence to prove his connection to the other murder.
Chikatilo was more than willing to show how he disarmed people, how he tricked them, how he tied up the boys, how he inflicted the knife wounds, and how he even had sexual relations with his victims, either in the stage of near death or after death.
What we do know about the serial killer is when you start to talk with them, they hold everything together. Then they begin to disintegrate, and they begin to be able to share bits, pieces, odds and ends of murders.
В продолжении остановились у кладбища, центрального кладбища города.
On the evening of December 7th, 1990, police drove Chikatilo to the local village of Shakhty. Again, one of the officers had a video camera.
Вместе с вами прибыло в город Шахты.
Walking between the gravestones of a small public cemetery, Chikatilo brought them to the site of a shallow, unmarked grave. Police dug a sneaker emerged through the earth. Chikatilo watched casually, detached from it. What could have created this brutal killer? How could he have killed so many for so long?
What would cause a person to slip over that line and become a serial offender of any kind?